Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Devasia Mentality Plays Sonic CD! Oh yeah! We are going really far back, as I think... Actually, I don't know. Was this the first Sonic game that I actually played? I don't remember. Oh no, probably not the first, but one of the earliest ones. This is one I did a playthrough of a long time ago, I know that much. But this is Sonic CD, and this time around we are going to be touching the 2011 remake. This one's on PC already, so we don't really have to worry about it that much, you know, as far as decompilations go. That said, I am using the decompiled version, and I've inserted my iteration of the intro with the sound effects, so I'll let you listen to this. And thus we begin the journey to Little Planet, or on Little... I was never really clear about where Palm Tree Panic is in relation to the rest of the game world. Like, is Palm Tree Panic a zone on Little Planet, or is it the zone leading on to Little Planet? Like, one assumes that the game officially starts once Sonic has gotten onto the planet. But yeah, we're on... Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're on Little Planet. Why am I even thinking about this? This is Little Planet, a small world that appears once a year over the location called Never Lake. However, as this time of year has arrived, Sonic has come here to find it tethered and conquered by Dr. Robotnik. As he does do, it seems. So it is up to Sonic to travel around the world, destroying Robotnik's mecha machinations, traveling through time to save the future and make it good for the denizens of Little Planet. And, well, just for the sake of Little Planet itself, because, yeah, this is the first Sonic the Hedgehog game to involve time travel. And it's somehow not bad. Halfways because there is no really broken logic behind the time travel system entirely. I mean, you could talk about all sorts of paradoxes at the end of the day and how none of this should work, but the simple setup and scheme of this game is as simple as each zone has a past, present, and future version of it. You always start in the present, well, unless you're on the third... Oh boy. As I try to explain this stuff, we have come face to face with Sonic's would-be girlfriend, Amy Rose. Sonic CD is technically her debut as far as the games go, but there was a character called Amy in the Sonic mangas before this, whom this character is very decidedly based on, and she is the girlfriend of the character called Nikki, who is Sonic's alter ego in that manga. It's a weird superhero thing, and I don't think we need to get into that. The point is, this is Amy's debut in the video games, and these are the special stages of Sonic CD. And... you know, these special stages alone were why I initially had issues with this particular iteration of the game. This is the 2011 rebuild, using the same engine as all the other, as the mobile port of Sonic 1 that I already did. Yeah, I'm doing Sonic CD after Sonic 1 instead of Sonic 2, even though I should technically be doing Sonic 2 first. But these special stages, they're interesting. Basically, it's a sort of 3D environment where your goal is to run around and smash these UFOs until you've smashed all of them in order to get a hold of the time stones. There are 7 time stones to collect, and once you've got all 7 of them, you can establish a good future for the entire game world. But, alternatively, you can basically travel through time in any given... Well, this game has a different naming schema for them. Like, what I would call zones are rounds, and what I would call acts are zones. Kind of confusing, but anyway, we'll try to... Since I'm pretty sure I don't want to confuse anyone, we'll say zones and acts in the traditional sense of other classic Sonic games. So, in any given act of any given zone, you'll have the opportunity to go into the past, present, or future by passing these signs, which have, like, past or future on them. If you're in the present and you go into the past, you will go into the past section. If you're in the past and go to the future, you go back to the present. If you're in the present and go back to the future, you head in the future. And depending on whether or not you've established a good or bad future in the past, that future will either be, well, good or bad. Like, the atmosphere, the enemies, and whatnot will be completely different tonally. Like, if you haven't gone to the past and destroyed the robot generators, then you'll end up in the bad future, which is dark and bleak and toxic and whatnot, where Eggman, Robotnik, whatever, has taken over completely and everything's just really dour. But I'm going to try. I won't succeed in every single zone as I play, to establish a good future for every single level that I pass through by always going into the past. I foul up in one act of one specific zone later on down the road, but ultimately, if you get all of the time stones, it becomes null and void because you end up with a good future in every zone anyway, and you don't have to travel through time anymore in order to get these good futures. But yeah, that's just kind of the thing about this game that I want to establish. I don't always play it this way. Sometimes I'll go for the robot generators. Sometimes I'll focus entirely on the time stones. But I'm going to try to do a little bit of both, at least until I get all the time stones. So I'm going to always try going into the past, get rid of the robot generator, and the Metal Sonic projectors in the past. Because that's another thing. If you want to know how to get all of the Metal Sonic projectors and robot generators in the past to establish a good future one level at a time, I do have a full playthrough that focuses on just doing that. And I would suggest going to watch that one if you're interested in doing that yourself. It'll give you an idea of where all the robot generators are, and the Metal Sonic projectors. You know, just in case you ever thought about doing things differently rather than going after all the time stones. But gathering all the time stones is the surefire way of ending the game with a good future. And, you know, saves you a lot of trouble in the long run, I would say. Because these special stages, in just about any other version of the game, I won't say it's a complete non-struggle, because it's, you know, it is, but I feel like in other versions of the game, I've had much better luck actually completing these stages without much of a struggle, without a significant struggle, I should say. But the thing I don't like about the 2011 rebuild is that I constantly feel like I'm missing jumps into these things that in any other version of the game would not be missing. Like, I feel like the hit detection has been... I feel like the hit detection in this version of the game is... It's just not as good. At least for the... Like, I feel like the hitboxes are narrower or something. Or... Maybe it's just a psychological effect of playing the remake, but... I just... It's a lot of reasons... I don't know, I just feel like the special stages have been changed for the worse in this version of the game. It could just be that I am so used to how awful they were in most other versions of the game, but for some reason, I had to practice with this. Well, for the most part. I can generally, with exception to those special stages, I can generally pick up Sonic CD, play it all the way through, get a good future, and have done, and it'll just be alright, but I do not feel that same confidence when playing this version of the game. I did manage it, and, well, here we are, and there goes Amy. Metal Sonic showed up and kidnapped her. So, guess our blue hero has a little extra incentive to save the planet. And his not-girlfriend. I mean, this is the first time he even met her as far as the game canon goes. As for what Amy was doing here, I believe, from what I recall, Amy's purpose was... because she's into tarot cards, she basically predicted that her hero would be met here. She would meet her hero here on Little Planet, and, well, I mean, she did. She believes it's Sonic, and of course, that they're fated to be together, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Either way, she's a clingy... She is... Sonic's clingy, not-girlfriend, fangirl character, who wouldn't really evolve beyond that for quite a long while, I would say. In any case, she's been kidnapped, so we have to save her, and the planet, and everything else. And the thing you'll notice about badniks in this game is that when you thwack them, little animals don't come out, but like little sparkly seed things come out and leave flowers behind. Never really understood why that was a thing. But whatever. But back to the past we go to find the robot generator, and I think it's right over there. Yep. Also these not slicers. Yeah. They're just like, this isn't Sonic 2, those things aren't slicers, and I'm not going to rage because of it. But I'm sure we will once I get to that game. Like, sure, they're annoying. I don't like them. And I'd rather have them all destroyed by taking out the robot generator. But... they aren't the kind of mantises that would cause me to rage into infinity at their very inclusion. Fuck you, Metal. Yeah, it's very different. We're not freeing animals from the robots, we're freeing those flowers, but we are freeing little animals by taking out Metal Sonic, who seems to be... You know, I never quite understood that. Like, Metal Sonic seems to be... like, his purpose in this game in the past is to harass the little animals, and that somehow drives them away in any given zone? I don't know. But yeah, just like in Sonic 1, we collect 50 rings in order to gain access to the special stage at the end of the stage. But unlike Sonic 1, you can get 50 rings and reach the end of the stage at the end of each zone. At the end of... like, it's still the same thing where you can only do it in Act 1 and Act 2, but I think the final zones aren't exempt from this like they were in Scrap Brain in the first game. Also, you don't want to touch the water in these special stages, because for every second that you touch it, it drains like an extra 10 seconds from your timer. So, yeah. Adding more fuel to the fire, that is Sonic's water allergy. I mean, Sonic can run on the water just fine in these special stages. It's just a case of if he touches it, there goes like 10 seconds off your timer. And if you lose too much time, well, you're not gonna have enough left over to actually collect the gems before you're kicked out. But that is 3 time stones down, 4 to go. And you'll also notice that there's some kind of similarities to Sonic 1 in other ways. Like, this is Collision Chaos. It's kind of very pink, and it's full of springs and bumpers, not unlike Spring Yard Zone in Sonic 1. And of course, Palm Tree Panic was analogous, sort of, to say, analogous to Green Hill, which, well, a level that's analogous to Green Hill, that's kind of typical for the whole Sonic series, really. But yeah, you don't want to go into the future. Like, that's one of the aggravating things about this game is if you're trying to get into the past in order to get to the access to the robot generators, you don't want to go by one of those future signs and end up speeding up enough to actually take off at 88 miles per hour. But yeah, as long as you have enough speed, there are plenty of ways to do that. Like, these loop areas with springs in them are a good place to pick up a lot of speed. But if you can keep up the speed of about 88 miles per hour, I don't know, just keep up the speed, keep up the pace, and eventually you'll time travel. Like, there's a lot of different ways to do it, some more reliable than others, like bouncing back and forth. But yeah. We're in the past, we've dealt with the robot generator. All that's left to deal with is our robot doppelganger. who is right here. There we go. And that frees the animals. But I still want to be careful, because I don't want to go... Well, I don't want to go... I don't want to go into the present if I don't have to, but I also... I just want to hold on to my rings, because we're still trying to go after time stones and get good futures and individual acts of individual zones, because I don't know, I'm fickle like that. But yeah, you don't have to do what I'm doing and go for every good future in every act of every zone individually. You can just go after the time stones and have done with it. I just do it this way because I played this game a long time. This was the first Sonic game that I ever played, the 96 PC port anyway, and as such, because I've played so much of it and I understand its ins and outs, it became one of my favorite Sonic games. Like, I can understand for a lot of people why it's not the best, but it is certainly one of those Sonic games that I come back to and can enjoy at the drop of a hat. Because I know its ins and outs so well, its intricacies, getting the different endings and whatnot. But I can also say the same thing about, like, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like, Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic CD are two games in the Sonic franchise that I can, within reason, replay at any given moment and always feel like I'm gonna have a good time with it. Ah, come on. Yeah, at the 20-second countdown, you're going to hear that noise, and that noise is the arrival of one of those particular types of UFOs, which will give you more time if you manage to hit it, but unfortunately, I ended up touching the water first. So, bleh, we're gonna have to go get that time stone again later. But in the meantime, we've managed to secure a good future for Collision Chaos. And we are in the final act, where Robotnik awaits us. And unlike other Sonic games, the Sonic CD bosses are they're more of a puzzle than they are a outright standard hit 'em multiple time boss. You know, where in most other Sonic games, the challenge is more about just hitting him and then keeping up the pace, and so that you can keep hitting him. The challenge in Sonic CD is honestly hitting him at all. Because in this one, we're stuck inside one of these obnoxious pinball machines, having to use the bumpers and springs and whatnot to get up to the top so that we can actually thwack him. Because once we actually do thwack him, it's... And there we go. But yeah, that was part 1 of Sonic CD. I'd like to thank absolutely everyone for watching this one, and we will see you in the next one. This is the Devasia Mentality, out.